El Nino basically refers to an abnormal warming of the eastern equatorial Pacific waters, off the coast of Ecuador and Peru. So basically, this happens just after Christmas, and it lasts through. So what it does is, because of this kind of abnormal warming, it leads to more and more of evaporation and the cloud building being concentrated towards South America and that part. So it leads to floods in that area, but at the same time it deprives the other end of the Pacific, which is closer to Indonesia, Papua New Guinea and Australia. It deprives that area of convective currents. So because of that, you end up with drought there, and indirectly that effect percolates to India. So there is a broad correlation. I mean, we can say that an El Nino is generally bad for the Indian monsoon because of the percolation effect. And yesterday the US Climate Center, it sort of upped the forecast. It has talked of last month they had already said that El Nino has arrived. But at the time they said that there's only a 50% chance of it lasting through the summer, whereas now they are saying that there is a 70% chance of it lasting through the summer, and probably 50% of it and about 60% of it lasting through the autumn, which is right up to say November or something, So therefore the chances of an El Nino year have clearly increased. So we can assume that this is an El Nino year. Drought years in India have generally been El Nino years. Okay, like 1982 was drought and El Nino, 1987 was drought and El Nino, 2002 was drought and El Nino, 2004 was drought and El Nino, 2009 was drought and El Nino. Okay, so but the reverse doesn't hold. It doesn't mean that if there is El Nino, there is drought. The strongest ever El Nino in recent times was in 1997, and India actually recorded surplus rains. The same was the case with 1994. Even in 2006, you had El Nino, but still the rains were normal. So you can't say that an El Nino will lead to bad monsoons. The El Nino is probably only one of the influencing factors which has an impact on the Indian monsoon. The Indian monsoon may be impacted by many other factors, but the signs as of now aren't very good. I mean, so if the monsoon turns out to be bad again, then it really piles up the problems for the farmers. They had a bad Kharif harvest, they had a bad Rabi harvest, and on top of it, now if we are going to have a fresh this thing, so it's not good for rural incomes. The government and RBI have now adopted inflation targeting as an objective, as a policy objective. So now in the event of El Nino, since now the US Climate Prediction Center has very firmly said that there will be an El Nino, so therefore obviously now RBI will think now twice about cutting interest rates, because since now its overwhelming goal is now towards inflation targeting, and which has also been endorsed in this time's budget, by the government. So I think we can now forget interest rate cuts for the next at least a few months. So just the fear of El Nino is enough to, I think, trigger the latest RBI action.